Hey everybody, welcome back to my Project 13. Thanks for coming on by and checking out this video. Appreciate your time, your support. Now, with everything going on with the Google Pixel Fold, it doesn't matter if it's a positive or a negative. It all reflects back to the price point. And when I talk about negatives, I'm talking about those that are out there that have expressed their concerns and would label those concerns, those issues as negatives. The areas that I've had to deal with, there are workarounds, and one of the areas now I know isn't even a Google thing. It's a developer thing with the apps. All the Google pre-installed apps work with the larger display. It's, again, those third-party apps, and the developers just need to get on the ball and get those apps optimized for that larger display on your Pixel Fold. But there are those having overheating issues. Your battery life isn't as good as you thought it would be. The cameras, biggest complaint is not having the top of the line cameras and not having the 3rd gen Tensor chipset. When you take those what some would label as negatives, not a good experience, you start to really question that price point. For some, are you having a great time and you're looking at that price point and saying, well, you know what? No, it still doesn't warrant $1,800 for a smartphone, a foldable smartphone. And for those of you just not having a good time and you return your device, some of you are considering returning, you're definitely saying, no, it doesn't warrant that price point. I'm going to change my thinking. As far as my experience emotionally and how much I'm having fun with this smartphone, at the end of the day, even though I lost a device by trading it in to bring the cost of the Google Pixel Fold down. Remember, it's still $1,800. I still paid for the device I traded in. I had a $100 in-store credit over at the Google Store, but I earned that by purchasing a smartphone from the Google Store. So at the end of the day, I still paid that money, right? I still had to lose to get. But I would have to say, let's go back to the logically and emotionally answer. Yes, it was worth $1,800 because I am having an amazing time with this smartphone, and I'm super stoked that I traded in a device. I'm super stoked that at one point I purchased a device to get $100 in-store credit over at that Google Store, which allowed me to bring in this smartphone that originally I said no, that this is what I would like to have seen as far as the price point attached to the Pixel Fold. But my experience says that the price point is warranted. I'm not even thinking about that price point anymore. Now, some of you may not agree with me, and some of you are going to be totally against what I'm like. What kind of crazy thinking is that? Okay, and I get it. But with everything that I'm doing with the Google Pixel Fold, whether it's utilizing the outer cover display, the inner display, which is phenomenal when creating content. I'm telling you, using PowerDirector with that inner display on my Pixel Fold, just, it makes everything so simple and easy, and I'm loving it, watching movies, videos, the speakers, the quality build of the device. The size, connectivity, performance with the Gen 2, no complaints whatsoever. My device getting warm but not overheating. The cameras on the rear, on the front, everything. I've already talked about all of this. It's just given me such a great experience for a first foldable smartphone ever for me. And it could have been a disaster. And it could have been mediocre. But it's not. And I'm definitely waiting for the moment that I get to use a Samsung Galaxy Z Fold. Yes, I've not had one. I've played around with them over at Best Buy every generation. But eventually I will have one and I'll get to experience that. But for right now, what a way to start out my experience with a foldable smartphone. And yes, it is definitely worth that price point. And outside what I see over on the web or over at YouTube, I don't even think about that $1,800 price point anymore. I don't. Because of the experience that I'm having. And I think for some of you, if you're having the experience that I'm having, you might feel the same way. Like, it is what it is. The price point has come and gone in your mind because of the experience that you are having. Shout out to my experience. And that's that. Peace.